Hello, everybody, and welcome to another podcast episode of Andy's Witchcraft by me, Sacred Moon. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far, and that you had a blessed Easter, if that's what you celebrate, or a blessed Ostara, if that's what you celebrate, or even Ramadan. I know that's been going on. I hope you're having a blessed one. And I think that's all the holidays that I know of that are going on. But whatever holiday you celebrate, I hope you had a wonderful one, and that you are safe and happy. Today's episode is the continuation of a mini-series I have going on elemental magic. We are focusing on the third element today, which is earth. A quick recap on elemental magic, and for way more details, you could check out my previous episodes on water and fire magic, which I will link below. But basically, the four basic elements create the boundaries and the structure within a larger spiritual framework. Earth is a reassuring and positive force that includes the environment healthy for life, provides walls against fear and success and wealth, and we experience it within our bodies as the structure and toughness of our bones. So we are all basically made up of earth. For modern witches, the elements are often associated in magical tools. So for earth, it is the pentacle or the coin, which is huge for protection and abundance magic workings. And when you work with the elements, you are accessing some of the primal forces and building blocks of life and the universe itself. The elements provide spiritual guidance for daily meditations, visualizations, spell work, or life lessons. So you may ask yourself, what element do I need to get through today? In this episode, like I said, I will be discussing how you can use earth magic, how you could tell if earth magic is what you need to get through your day, and just basic ways to connect with the element. I'd like to begin this episode, as always, with associations with the earth element. So zodiac signs that are the earth element basically are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Planets associated with the earth element are Venus and Saturn. Colors that connect you to the earth are green, brown, black, and gold. Crystals are emerald, peridot, amethyst, jet, tourmaline, granite, quartz, jasper, azurite, onyx, bedrock, tiger's eye, rutilated quartz, fluorite, slate, lead, iron, moss agate, tree agate, and coal. The tarot suit associated with the earth are the pentacles or coins, depending on the tarot deck you have, maybe referred to one or the other. And the cardinal direction that connects you to the earth is north. So if you have an altar for the elements, you'll place the one for the earth element on the north side of your altar. The time of days closest associated with the earth is midnight, and the season is winter. Magical tools that connect you to the earth and are associated with the earth are salt, dirt, coffee grounds, shield, and coins or pentacles. Herbs and oils that you can use to connect to the earth element and its characteristics and traits are cypress, mistletoe, patchouli, pine, cedar, vetiver, white oak, and wild cherry. And animals associated with the earth element are gopher, bear, wolf, ant, horse, stag, deer, dog, cow, bull, bison, snake, worm, mole, and grub. Basically, any burrowing creatures that live in the earth, or creatures that dig or anything like that, they are associated with the earth element. And getting fossils or bones of these animals to put on an altar and use in your practice is a really good way to connect to the element of the earth. However, please make sure that your bones are ethically sourced. Do your research on shops. Don't just buy bones from the first shop you see. Please make sure that they are ethically sourced, like I said, and that they just honor the earth in the best ways possible. Symbols associated with the earth element are plains, caves, fields, stones, trees, gardens, canyons, and forests. And the earth is the element of stability. It represents staying grounded and centered as you journey through life and death. And this energy is associated with darkness and stillness. The earth also represents abundance, whether that's financial, material, spiritual, or emotional. It represents strength, healing, success, empathy, fertility, wisdom, nature, animals, plants, and death and rebirth. So those are all of the associations with the earth element that you can keep in mind when you're doing an altar or doing rituals associated with the earth. Keep in mind these associations and try to incorporate them the best ways that you can. So now you may be asking, okay, why is it so important to connect to the earth in witchcraft? Like, why is the earth in general important in witchcraft? Well, the earth is a hard, enduring, and strong element. It is a mighty and patient defense, so it is great for protection workings. The fertile soil gives life and restores natural balance, and this element is strongly related to human concerns like material things such as money, work, and the physical needs of the body, like food or the comforts of a home, security, and even matters of the family. The earth is a dependable and tough element that can help reassure the emotions we experience and slow the pace of life. Connecting to the element of earth can help us remind us of the importance of protecting our planet and Mother Earth's creations. So yes, connecting with the earth and being mindful of the earth is crucial in any witch's practice. So, how can we practice earth magic? How can we incorporate this in our craft? How can we do the earth justice and bring honor to her? Well, the first thing, this comes from the book Elemental Divination by Stephen Ball. It is an earth meditation. This is a meditation made specifically to connect to the element of the earth. So basically, you're going to find a place outdoors or indoors where you will not be disturbed, and you will sit down. Close your eyes and feel the solid earth beneath you, or the floor, whatever. And if you can, put your hands on the ground or the floor and just feel the earth under your hands as well. Bonus points if you sit barefoot and actually have like your skin come into contact with the earth. That's a really good connection. Then you're going to feel the structure of everything beneath you supporting your weight, ultimately resting on miles of dense rock. Extend this feeling downward and anchor yourself to the earth. Feel like you're just stuck on the earth and that you can't get up. Feel this anchor through the soles of your feet. Even if you're in a room of a house and not outdoors, feel the tough, unbending materials doing the job of holding you up and not giving in. Rock's enduring stillness, not wavering. In our bodies, the earth is our bones, the hard structure that carries the rest. Feel those bones in your limbs and in the ribs inside your chest. Imagine the rest of your body as tough as the rock beneath you, as if your chest is surrounded by a shell of heavy stone that protects you and doesn't crack. As well as taking in the lessons of patience and endurance, we should feel thankful to Earth for the renewing and dependable life force of our growth and that of the natural world. So this is an example of a meditation. It's just all about being grounded in the earth, focusing on our connections with the earth. But really, any meditation that you do that helps you stay grounded and in the present moment can help you connect to this element. So if you don't like to just sit down with your eyes closed and connect to the element, you don't have to do that. I read books. Books help me connect and stay grounded and focus on the present moment, believe it or not. I also draw. I listen to music. That's a type of meditation. So there's all sorts of meditations that help you stay grounded in reality that can 100% help you connect with the earth. Number 2, spell work associated with the earth element. I have like 5 categories of spells types that you can do to connect to the earth element, And the first one is protection magic. So like we said, earth is a protective element. It's our home. It's what gives us shelter. It's what keeps us safe. So protection magic is a great way to connect to the earth. 2, abundance or money or prosperity magic is also a great thing to do. Like we said, earth is associated with abundance and money and finances and all that. So doing spells related to that is connecting to the earth element. Number 3, career success spells. This is closely linked to the abundance and money and prosperity magic, but this is focused more on the career. So making sure you find a career you're happy in, a career that makes you feel safe and secure and confident in yourself. Number 4 is fertility spells. This is if you're trying to conceive, but it could also be fertility spells for like gardening or planting, for food, for stability, money again, fertility, abundance. Yeah. So those are really strongly associated with the earth element as well. And then 5, we have confidence spells. So I feel like earth is such a confidence building element. It is an element that helps you kind of like rise up and like feel good about yourself and feel secure in your own skin and in your own body and in who you are. And so confidence spells really will connect to that earthy element of confidence and security. The next suggestion I have to connect to the earth element is working with earth spirits. Now, earth spirits are beings that are tied to the land and plant kingdom. It is their job to build and maintain earth, whether that's, outside, the trees, the grass, the gardens, the flowers, the animals, anything like that. That's what they're in charge of. Earth spirits that you could venerate and possibly work with are gnomes, fairies, trolls, dwarves, dryads, I think it's dryads, and faun. So, and any nature spirit really can help you connect to the earth element, but these are like the main ones that specify in like dirt and like literal like plant life and stuff like that. So focus on these earth spirits if you want to focus on connecting to that part of the earth. The next thing you can do to connect to the earth element is use crystals in your practice. Now, this doesn't have to be only the crystals listed in the associations section of this episode, but really crystals in general come from the earth. And so wouldn't it make sense that using any sort of crystals in your practice is in of itself helpful to connect you to the earth? Like, I would think that. So by using crystals, but especially crystals associated with grounding and confidence and fertility and abundance, those are really good to connect you to the earth. So keep that in mind when you're trying to find ways to have a piece of the earth in your home, maybe. Now, let's talk about some mundane earth magic ideas. Great for broom closet witches, but are also magical ways. So I love this. Number 1 is to greet the day by giving thanks to nature. It's very important that we say thank you, Mother Earth, for protecting us, for giving us this home, for keeping us safe. I think that's, a great way to start the day with gratitude and, showing appreciation. Number 2, walking outside barefoot. Like I said, just literally feeling the dirt in the soles of your feet really will ground you and root you and just connect you to our origins, which is in the earth. Number 3, touch and hug trees. I am of the opinion that trees have feelings, trees have emotions, they are living things, so I feel like they would, and they can feel pain and they can feel love. That's my opinion. And so by hugging a tree, you're showing them that love and appreciation, and you're making them feel safe, and you're making them feel good. And I think that's very important. It's a good selfless act to give to nature, to show that you trust it to protect you and that they can trust you to protect it, or her, however you refer to earth. But yeah, touching and hugging a tree, my favorite thing to do, honestly. Number 4, performing a ritual to honor the earth. So like I said, any of the spells or rituals listed above can be really good for this, but also just a general ritual of like giving an offering to the earth. Maybe you cut up some strawberries and you cut off the tops of strawberries and then you throw those and give it to earth, and there you go. That's a good way to, that's a ritual. Just saying a quick prayer and then throw it and give it as an offering. That's good. Potato peels, apple peels, or apple seeds, anything like that. Any leftovers of fruits that can decompose and is safe for the earth, definitely give and make it into a ritual. Number 5, go for a walk, but be present. So as you go, don't just walk for exercise. Walk and listen. Like, what sounds do you hear? What do you see? What's natural and what's man-made? What do you feel? Is it raining? Is it sunny? Is it cloudy? Are there animals around you? Are the animals making noises? Are the animals approachable or are they fearful? Is the grass green or like a yellowish color, like it's dead? Being present like that and being observant is a great way to connect to the earth. Number 6, buying and nurturing house plants, indoors or outdoors, or even starting a garden. For obvious reasons, this connects you to the earth, but it also helps you connect to the divine feminine, that maternal instinct of caring for a plant. If you're not the type of person that wants children, caring for plants or caring for pets and animals is a great way to connect to the earth. I should add that to the list, actually. Yeah, getting a pet. Now, do your research before getting pets, obviously. Don't just get a pet and then not take care of it properly. But caring for pets, caring for plants like you're the parent is a great way to connect to the divine feminine that's within us all. And it really gives us that nurturing appeal and appreciation for the earth. Number 7, collecting rocks from the forest or sand from the beach or seashells from the beach and utilizing them in your practice. Anything that comes from the earth, from sand or soil, is a great way to obviously connect to it. I think it's important to get natural things on your altar. Like I have leaves that I took from my plants, when you take off the dying or the dead leaves. I have those on my altar. I have sticks, I have seashells, I have rocks, I have all sorts of things that are natural. And I like to put them on my altar to appreciate the earth and everything it has given us. Number 8, spending time in a park or visiting a forest. This connects already to what I said, so I won't go into too much detail about this. But yeah, basically spending time with nature and keeping her company, making sure she's not alone or lonely. I think that's very crucial. Number 9, utilizing these stones and rocks in your practice. So not only crystals, but you could also use stones and rocks and seashells that you collected from the beach or from the forest. You could use those, and they're a great natural spell working tool to use. Number 10, decorating your home with fresh flowers and natural elements. Even painting like flowers and vines on the walls, if you're into that decor, or getting just plant-like decor. I think it's very, very crucial to have that natural element in our homes, especially when our homes are so man-made, and the way they're made is destructive. It's harmful to the environment. Building houses, construction causes a lot of pollution. So by adding a natural element to your home, you're kind of recognizing that you still want to feel connected to the earth in your man-made home. And 11, live more sustainably. Lots of ways to do this. Don't waste electricity. Unplug your chargers and stuff from the walls when you're not using them. Turn off the lights when you leave the room. Don't waste water. Recycle. Try not to use plastic bags. Use reusable bags. Cut down on your meat consumption. All these ways of sustainable living. This is a great, great, crucial way to show appreciation for the earth. True action. Words mean one thing, but action means another. So take action and show the earth how much you appreciate her. Don't just say you appreciate her. Don't just say thank you. Show her that you are thankful. The next section that I'm discussing are deities and spiritual entities or saints associated with the earth. So these are any spiritual entity that you can work with to connect to the earth. The first category are those associated with fertility, agriculture, harvest, or the earth. So, for example, we have the Norse goddess Jord, which is spelled Jord. And this is actually where the name Earth originates from. And she is believed to be the personification of the earth. It is believed that she and Odin had a son known as Thor, and that Jord was believed to be the life force of the planet, causing the trees to fruit and seeds to sprout at her touch. She is strongly associated with fertility, birth, and new beginnings. Her personification was adopted by a number of cultures across Europe, and eventually she became known as Mother Earth or Mother Nature. Other deities or spiritual entities or saints associated with the fertility or agriculture or harvest or the earth are Asherah, who I consider to be Mother Earth or the Holy Spirit, Saint Francis, who is strongly associated with domestic animals or animals in general, Gaia, Demeter, Terra, Ceres, Rhiannon, Epona, Prithvi, Pan, Hern, Cernunnos, Tammuz, Dionysus, Athos, Cybele, Ops, Seph, and Geb. We also have other, deities or spiritual entities associated with death or rebirth, which is also associated with the element of earth. And these are Jesus, Aran, Persephone, and Ceridwen. Yeah. Now, as a Christo-pagan Buddhist, I want to talk about the associations and the importance of earth in Buddhism. So, in Buddhist traditions, meditation always includes grounding, which is naturally associated with the earth. We meditate to become open to the possibility of bringing that sense of grounded stability from the physical earth to our mental focus. When our body is grounded, it allows our mind to be steadfast and present. And when seeking to be mindful, we are seeking to be grounded in the present. We find the powerful symbol of Buddha sitting under the tree where he found enlightenment. And experientially, we seek in our practice to become like a tree in the sense of growing deep roots. Buddha sat under the tree and remembered many of his past lives, his births, his deaths, and he saw the round of beings taking birth, dying, and being born. Buddhists believe that we are made up of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, wind, and space. Each of these has its own particular quality. The earth in Buddhism is a model of how anything that occurs can be transformed through patience and equanimity. All kinds of filth gets plopped into the earth, but she doesn't mind. She takes it in and recycles it and turns it into something beautiful and life-giving. The earth, therefore, has the capacity to ground us and help us be more steadfast, and to whatever negativity we experience, turn it into something more positive. So I love that significance. I love that interpretation. It's one of the reasons I grew very fond of Buddhism and started practicing it on a more consistent basis. It's just a truly beautiful thing to experience when you can realize how much meditation and being grounded can save you. And it really has helped improve my craft in a numerous amount of ways. Now, let's talk about earth magic in Christianity or Christo-paganism. First, St. Anthony told us that nature was God's open book, and St. Francis became the patron saint of ecologists through his love and care for wildlife, and he spoke of Mother Earth as nourishing humans. So even St. Francis recognized that the earth was a separate divine entity, and to be venerated and appreciated. That being said, there are also many Bible verses that talk about the earth, the magicness, how it's magic. The earth is magic, and how it is life-giving. First, we got Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heaven, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." This really talks about humanity's necessity of protecting the earth. It says that man had dominion over all the earth and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. We have a divine duty to protect the earth, to protect its living creatures, to show veneration and appreciation for it, because it was created and put here for a reason, and we are created and put here for a reason. And humans have, obviously, a lot more advanced intelligence than animal life, and we are capable of critical thinking, and we should use that critical thinking to help them, to help the creatures that can't critically think as well as humans do. It's up to us to protect the earth, and Genesis really talks about that. Next, we got Job chapter 12, verses 7 to 10. "But ask the animals, and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky, and they will tell you. Or speak to the earth, and it will teach you. Or let the fish in the sea inform you. Which of all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hand is the life of every creature, and the breath of all mankind." Again, in his hand is the life of every creature. God put that life in our hands. Up to us to protect it. But learn from them as well. Like, there's so much we can learn from animals that we would never be able to learn from humans. You know, from animals. Like, for example, and this is like a big stretch, obviously, but like the whole saying of like homosexuality exists in nearly every species, but homophobia only exists in one: humans. And I'm like, yeah, that's something we should learn. We should learn to kind of like from the animals to be loving of, you know, obviously a lot of animals are competitive, like wolves who compete for domination over the pack, whatever, being the leader of the pack, whatever you call it. But and lions do the same thing and stuff like that. And they are competitive, but they don't show discrimination. Like, they don't hate you because you're different. They you know, there are certain things that we can learn from animals that in my opinion, that I think we could take a lesson to. And it really shows that, like, you know, in Job, it says, "Ask the animals and they will teach you." Teach you to have faith that whatever happens will happen. And that we should just mind our business and do our own thing, you know? And obviously humans require one another. We can't be alone. We can't be isolated. We can't mind our business completely. But we should not judge others for what they do or their choices. And animals, I don't think they really judge each other for their choices. And that's something that we can take away from it, in my opinion. Of course, not everything we should take away from animals. I don't think we should, you know, kill each other for leaders of the pack or anything like that. No, that's wrong. But I really think, you know, there's some things we can learn: compassion and loving, you know, loving kindness from animals, like dogs. Come on, look how loyal dogs are. We should take that loyalty. We should really learn from dogs and be loyal, be compassionate, you know, be carefree. And I love that this verse just kind of reminded me of that. Next, we have Psalms chapter 96, verses 10 through 13. "Say among the nations, the Lord reigns. The world is firmly established. It cannot be moved. He will judge the peoples with equity. Let the heavens rejoice. Let the earth be glad. Let the sea resound, and all that is in it. Let the fields be jubilant, and everything in them. Let all the trees of the forest sing for joy. Let all creation rejoice before the Lord, for he comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world in righteousness and the people in his faithfulness." lot of mentions of the earth, but basically it mentions how the whole earth celebrates the Lord. And we should all celebrate creation together with all the living creatures, the fields, the plants, the trees, the animals, everything, because we're all connected. And even in Buddhism, I'm going to connect this to Buddhism. Buddhism says we're all connected. We're connected to every living thing on this planet. And this reminds us of that. We are all connected through the divine, through our creator. And I love that. I love that interconnectedness with the earth and its living creatures. Next, we have Psalm chapter 104, verse 5. He set the earth on its foundations so that it should never be moved. Again, this emphasizes how earth is a protection. It's for protection. It should never be moved. Grounded, stability. It will not change unless God decides it should change. It changes, and when it does change, because everything changes, not everything is permanent. When it does change, I believe it is intentional change. There is a reason behind it. Next, we got Psalm chapter 119, verse 6. The earth is filled with your love, O Lord. Teach me your decrees. See, the earth is filled with God's love. And so we should love one another as God loves us, but we should also love the earth as God loves us, because God loves the earth. God filled the earth with his love. And so we should love the earth. We should venerate the earth. We should respect the earth. Next, we got Isaiah chapter 43, verse 20. The wild animals honor me, the jackals and the owls, because I provide water in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland to give drink to my people, my chosen. Now, I love that verse, Isaiah. It truly, truly is amazing. It talks a lot about how the animals trust in just that higher power. Like, they don't know where the water comes from. They don't know where the food comes from. They don't care. Because at the end of the day, what matters is they have it. And they're not taking it for granted. They're using it for survival. And so we as humans should do the same. Isaiah chapter 48, verse 13. My hand laid the foundation of the earth, and my right hand spread out the heavens. When I call to them, they stand forth together. Again, the earth and heavens stand together. The earth is divine because it stands with heaven. Earth is a divine element. It is divine. We are on something holy, something divine, and we should not take it for granted. That verse just reminds me of that. Next, we got Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 24. Can anyone hide in secret places so that I cannot see them, declares the Lord. Do not I fill heaven and earth, declares the Lord. Again, the divinity is on earth. Earth is a divine element, not only with the divine feminine, but also with the divine masculine, which is Yahweh, Lord, And I love that balance. That's another thing I notice. The earth represents stability. It represents balance. And it represents that balance between the masculine and the feminine. And I love that. And I think it's very crucial. Like, earth has quote unquote masculine traits like protection, like groundedness, and also has feminine traits, fertility, nurturing, caring, compassion, all those like maternal feelings, that protection against children, like children of the earth. And this just really reminds me of that, The Lord fills heaven and earth. Earth is full of it. Next, we got 1 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 33. Then shall the trees of the forest sing for joy before the Lord, for he comes to judge the earth. Again, this just reminds us that trees have emotions just as much as humans do. They are living things, and they can feel, and they can sing for joy. Finally, we have Luke chapter 12, verse 27 to 28. This is my favorite verse of all time, possibly. Consider how the wildflowers grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today, and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, how much more will he clothe you, you of little faith? It shows us that if God can grant blessings to the earth, he will also grant blessings to us, because we are connected to the earth and we are connected to God. And I just absolutely love that. That's why it's my favorite verse. When I have anxiety, I turn to that verse and just remind me that God will provide. Yahweh cares for me. I care for him. He will provide for me. I'd like to finish off this episode with a little poem that I found during my research for this episode. It is from Calling the Elements by Carol McWilliams. Deep down, deep into the earth my roots go. Draw up earth mother power, she will help me grow. Rise up, fill me, give me life, strengthen me. A mighty tree, nourishing power from below. I love that. Like, I read it and I was so empowered. And like, I'm thinking of reading that like at the beginning of every one of my meditations, because it's truly a beautiful thing. You know, to be connected to the earth and have the earth also fill us. So that is about it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in and sticking around. I love all of my listeners and I appreciate you all for supporting me and the podcast during this journey. It has been almost 1 year of podcasts, I think, that's coming up very soon. And I'm super, super excited for that 1 year to hit. And I could not have made it without my amazing listeners. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. If you like this video and if you're listening to it on YouTube, give it a like, a comment, and a subscribe. If you are listening on Spotify, give it a follow. That way you could get updates on when new episodes are released. You could also follow me on social media. Those will be linked below in the link tree. And you could also post a suggestion for an episode. Click the link tree below. Go to what's titled Video Ideas. Fill out that Google form and I will do a video. I will do a video on whatever your idea is as soon as I possibly can. Would love to hear what you guys want from me and what kind of episodes you want to hear from me. It would be a truly wonderful experience, I think. Also, you can join my Discord server, the Crystal Caverns. That is also in the link tree below. Just click it and join the server. We would love to have you. For witches of all ages, does not matter what path of life you're at, just matters that you want to learn about witchcraft. Even if you're not a witch and you're just someone who wants to learn, come on in as long as you're respectful, Don't ask weird questions. And finally, if you would like to support my small business, I am going back to school in the fall and could use all the support, financial support, as I possibly can. You could support my divination reading business. It's also in the link tree below. You book it on my Goldie booking site and you pay through PayPal. If you could possibly do that, that would be greatly appreciated. And I would love to do more tarot, oracle, pendulum readings. I love doing them. I love doing these readings for my clients. Y'all are incredible. Those of you who have supported my business so far, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Truly appreciate you. That's about it for this episode. Thank you for listening to my spiel. Blessed be everyone. Have a wonderful day, week, month, and year.